Jay, back for the second time. You
Yeah.
said today was the most important day in your camp. Speak upon why today is.
Well, the way we structure things, today is the most rounds that we're going to do. You know, when you run a marathon, you don't run 26 miles every day. You know, you build up. And so what we do is we do just that. Today was that day of getting the most. So, and with big, strong guys.
Yeah, very much so.
So put it all together, we had a real good day.
And his camp, Luis Ortiz 1 versus Luis Ortiz 2, difference?
I think, yeah, a lot of difference. Camp 1 was, to be honest with you, just one of the worst camps we've ever had. And some of it, you know, was scheduling, and some of it was things that were going on, and some of it was illness, you know, where Deontay came down with a flu, and he was over it, but he certainly wasn't well. You know, he was well enough to fight, but he was not power-wise, reflex-wise. If you knew.
Well, you could tell by his reaction.
Yeah.
He stood on the ropes, if I remember.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He went, and it was like, yeah.
And then when he got home, he got very, very sick. Kind of like, it's almost like God told him, I'm going to give you this, but then after that, you're going to pay for it. Sure. And he did. He really got sick when he got home. And I knew he would, because it was just a bad camp and a bad everything. But he still came out on top.
Any thoughts on Tyson Fury now being as mandatory in addition to having a...
I just actually heard that today for the first time.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess that's a good thing. I really, you know, I'm in Ortiz mode. So I can't even think about Tyson Fury right now. We've got to focus on the task at hand.
Thank you, Chris.
And
Thank you, Joey.
if we do that, we'll be successful.
Appreciate you. I'll call you in the morning.
All right, JJ.
Thank you.
Bates,
Yes, sir.
one day I want a beard like you.
I didn't know I could have a beard.
If I try to grow a beard, it looks like an armpit with eyes.
There were a lot of pussy.
How did you and Deontay meet?
He walked, excuse me, talk about getting sick. I'm not getting sick. I got this cough that I got though, but he just walked in the gym one day. We're normal day. He walked in, and I was like, wow, this tall guy. Yeah. He passed the look test. I had no idea that he wanted to do what he wanted to do. Everybody says they want to box,
Sure.
but what do they do about it? And he really did. And that was right day one. I could see, like, showed him a couple of things. He was really trying to do them, like diligently. So I walked away. When you walk away, 99 out of 100, they won't do it like you were doing it before. I walked away, snuck a quick look back. He was still doing it. I said, "This kid, wow, this may be somebody that really wants to do this the way I always wish I had somebody that wanted to do this." And he was very special, very, very unique, very special guy. And I knew it early on. I'm not going to tell you I knew he would become what he became, because I didn't, but I will tell you that I knew he was different from everybody else.
Who is he at 21 versus 34 now?
Wow. Well, now, you know, he's grown so much, and our relationship has evolved as well. When they start, you know, you say it, they do it, kind of thing, like any coach. Time goes on, he sees things on the inside I may not see on the outside. I see something on the outside, he may not see on the inside. We talk, we work it out. It's a partnership now. It's not anything. It's like partnership, and it's also like family. We know each other so well. I mean, he knows. One time, he knows I jog every day, right? I 7 days a week. I have for years.
Oh, wow.
Decades, actually. And he knows that when I get up in the morning, I'm going to jog. So this guy let us borrow a beach house, right? And D got there the night before I got there. 4 stories, all marble, $1 million place, right? Deontay calls me. He says, "Man, guess what? They got a jogging track right out front." Like, that's the first thing he said, right? And I get there, and I'm like, "You didn't want to mention the mansion?" And he's like, "Well, no, I knew you'd want to hear about the jogging track." So that just tells you how well, like, he knows me, I know him.
Now, moving forward, he says 6 years, and you say you're done. Why? Why?
Well, I mean, I think that, you know, we were meant to take the journey together, and probably meant to end it together. I still will work as an advisor. Like, Deontay wants to get into, you know, expand his bomb squad promotions. And if he wants my help, I've been promoting pro boxing since 1995. We've done 88 shows since 95, which sounds like a lot of shows, but it's like averages out to about 4 a year. But that's not bad. I mean, we kept the guys going. So when Deontay, it actually worked out in our favor because when Deontay came along, we had been doing shows for about 10 years, right? So we knew who the good guys were, the bad guys were. We knew who would put 4 of you in one room because it had happened to me and my guys. Sure. So when it came time to start talking to managers, promoters, we knew a lot of the guys that wanted in were the ones that had treated us like garbage when we didn't mean anything to them, right? So those things came back to haunt those people because we knew the deal. I think if Deontay had come 5 years earlier, we wouldn't have really known what to do with him. But by the time he did walk in, we had 10 solid years of that. But getting back to your point, if he says he wants my help as an advisor or anything that can help out Bomb Squad Promotions, or if some of the fighters, I'm always available to give them my advice and help. We've been around the block enough that we can help. As far as coming to the gym every day and working somebody out all the time, I think when D,
you got to spend some of the money you made as well. Or invest it.
When D is done, that'll probably be the end of me as a day in, day out.
Yeah,
Plus, Deontay injures everybody, and I have some things. I have a hip replaced. I had to have hernia surgery when Deontay hit me. The other day, I had the bodysuit on, and he hit me with a left hook.
By the way, his left hook look amazing.
He's been really. He's always had it,
but the placement though, like heavyweights don't have placements with left.
Well, he placed one right here on me,
heavens, yes.
and they separated the rib from the cartilage.
So you can't even breathe.
It's not easy, and so that's part of the reason for why I keep coughing is it's there, and so my point is, when his day's done, I'll probably be all beat up like this, and I'll need a hot tub and a round-the-clock masseuse, and I'll be good.
And so you led me to this thought to a question. He has a switch now. I saw it in sparring. Like he goes from great to greater in sparring. Like, did you see that young, or when did it click? Like,
well, no, when
this is a bad man.
Really, the most that I saw it early on, he was at the Nationals in Chattanooga, and it was really close to see who was going on, like to the trials. And it could go either way. And D's got no experience, and these guys have got hundreds of fights, some of them 150, 200 fights. Came down to the last 15 seconds of a fight that could go either way. And he just, both of them had to be tired, but he just turned it on like a whole nother gear. And at one point had the guy leaning all the way out down from the ropes, from the waist backwards with Deontay on top of him, punching down like this, And I knew, I was like, wow, this is really special. I remember Howard Davis Jr., a few years before he passed, told me that he and Ray Leonard sparred together all the time, he and Sugar Ray. And they were both on the 76 Olympic team. Yeah. And he said it was always very even. And he said one day ABC came with their cameras, and he said Ray dropped him. And he said, I knew right then that when the lights are on, this guy finds another gear, another level. And I think that's Deontay.
Last couple questions. Is it 52-0, or is that important to you? Ford is 50 or 51. I'm not sure how you want to count the Conor McGregor fight, but is that important to you?
Well, I think I don't know.
Not thinking about Deontay, like you as the trainer, him walking in here with the
really. I think my first thing would be unification would probably be the thing that I, as a trainer, to say, that and with me it's not so much that I'm his trainer or the head coach of the team or anything like that. It's more that we've done it together. Amen. We've been partners in this thing, and it's it's a lot of ups and downs and everything, but it's been the joy of my life. It's been the best thing I've ever had happen to me. And he could have come back from the Olympics and said, hey, appreciate it, but you're a small town guy and I got to go with a big name trainer or whatever. But he didn't do that. He had the loyalty, and he believed in the plan that
his loyalty is high. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, exactly. And he believed that the plan was good. And we sat down. he's like, so what's the move? You know, and I said, okay, well, here's from a managerial standpoint, here's from a promotional standpoint. We laid it all out. We talked about it over pizza, you know. You can always get him to eat pizza, I'll tell you that. But anyway, that was something we just did, and he could have gone a million places, but he didn't. Yeah. And I think from my perspective, I've proven that we do have a great chemistry that's successful. You know, I never wanted to be somebody that let him down, you know, or anything like that. So I gave it 100%. He gave it 100%.
You want unification. Who would you prefer? And who is the biggest question now is who's the easier fight?
Well, it doesn't matter to me. I think I would say in sharing a co-manager with Ruiz, you know, he's with Al and we're with Al. So I think it's probably an easier fight to make because Lord knows we tried to make the Joshua fight. I mean, they offered us $15 million. We said yes. Then they backed out. We offered them 50 and proved it was real. They said no. I don't know. I even made the statement. There's 7.442 billion people on Earth. We found the one who wouldn't take $50 million. Wow. You know, I don't know what, you know, I think what it would take. People kind of assume that Joshua beats Ruiz. He's ready to fight. I don't know if they're gonna do that or not. We've seen in the past it hadn't happened, even though we were ready to do it. So with Ruiz, it's probably I think an easier fight to make, but it's gonna be a great fight between the two of them.
It's gonna be a great fight. Are you going?
No, I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna, you know, we've only our all goes well against Ortiz, you know, and there's no, you don't have any kind of a, you know, you didn't butt heads or you have a hand injury, nothing like that. All goes well. We'll be right back in camp pretty shortly.
Oh yeah, because February 20th.
So
yeah,
I don't want to spend that time away from home if I don't have to. I'd like to be able to do some things.
If you were a betting man, what would be the percentage that Fury takes to fight February 22nd?
I think, you know, he said the other day, somebody told me, and I'm not an internet person, which is kind of funny. In fact, after the fights, you'll usually find me at I have another gym. Coach Cuz bought this one from me. I've still got another gym. It's 2 hours south in a little town called Coffeyville, Alabama, that has 350 people approximately. Not even a red light in the town. One restaurant, one post office, and I've got a little place down there. And I love it there because there's no cell service. You can just completely disconnect from the world. And that's usually where you'll find me. So I'm not, luckily somebody called me and told me that Fury said the 22nd was on. Deontay, handle your business, and I'll see you on the 22nd. So, I mean, I'm assuming he's a man of his word. He didn't back out of the last one, so I'm assuming he's on, and I hope he is. I don't have any reason to think he wouldn't. So if he says it, I'm gonna say that he's gonna do it, and I think that'd be great. Be great for boxing. Sure. I mean, heck, what a great promotional tour. What a great two fighters.
So with Andy Ruiz too. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, and that would not have been something.
Who makes more money, you think, Anthony Joshua or Andy Ruiz?
That's probably, I would guess, probably Joshua, just because he's probably still got some sort of a deal with DAZN that has him locked into a certain amount, whereas Ruiz is now on part 2 of probably the first contract, which was the first contract plus the rematch clause. So even though there's some room for negotiation, I would think that my guess would be, I could be wrong.
Have you got your WBC trainer's belt yet?
Yeah.
Okay, because I've never seen you wear it. That's why I've never seen you wear it.
I got one years and years ago.
Okay, because I've never seen you.
It was very nice of them. I actually, my daughter actually took it for Halloween. She went as a boxer.
No way.
She went as a boxer, and she took it, and it was very nice of them to do that. But I'm not the guy. I don't own a single piece of jewelry. I'm just I drive a Honda Accord. I'll drive it for 10 years, 12 years. My next car, it'll be another Honda Accord. You know, it's just I'm just simple with these things, and I'm just that kind of guy. I don't, like I said, don't even own a single piece of jewelry or anything. So for me to be walking around with a belt or whatever,
I've never seen you wear it.
No, it's not. It's not my style. Though I do appreciate it, and what I'd like to do is get a big frame and have it like mounted in the frame or whatever, because really to me it's more important for the kids. You know, I mean, I won't, you know, God willing, I'll pass away before they do, and
Yeah, sure.
they can have that and say, wow, legacy. My dad did something really cool. They love my job. They think I've got the coolest job.
You do have a cool job.
They
You do have a cool job, man.
They think it's the greatest thing in the world because, like, one parent sells insurance and another parent, does this, that, and they think it's really neat, and But I'm a low key kind of a person. But I think
that way.
Well, I think it's just a thing where I'm happy to do interviews and stuff if people ask, but I mean, the thing with like Deontay's the man for the job. I certainly wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Deontay, he's so good with people, and if he stops at a gas station, it's like it could be an hour or
That's
two.
why I tell him I don't call you because I don't want to spend 2
Yeah.
hours with you on the phone.
Yeah, and I'm here when he gets here. I'm here. I never say anything like we're supposed to be here at this time or that time because I know how it is for him. I don't care about any of that. When we're on his time. When he comes to the gym, we work. I ain't got anything to do. I'm good.
And speaking of work, my last question. Speaking of work, what round?
I let the fighters do that.
Okay.
I'd never like it when trainers call rounds and all that, like they're in the fight. When the bell sounds, I come to the outside of the ring. So it's more a thing if Deontay or Ortiz want to say what they think or whatever, they're in the ring. They can say it. God bless them. But me as a coach, I definitely will say, we feel 1,000% confident we're going to win the fight. I will say I think it's going to be spectacular. I think it's going to be explosive. I think Deontay's going to show things that people don't even know he can do, right? But as far as like picking a round or what punch or whether I don't do any of that.
I appreciate your time.
No problem.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate you, brother.
All right. Gotta get home.